Now, what happens if you're going about your regular business? You're trying to find the GCF and or LCM of two numbers. You've found the prime factorization. You're about to fill in your Venn diagram, and the worst possible thing happens. You realize there are no common factors between these two numbers. How could this be? Is this even possible? You have nothing to put in the center of your Venn diagram. What are you going to do? Can you even go on? Well, I'm here to tell you that you've actually discovered something pretty cool about these numbers, and you can go on. Let's find out what's special about this situation. So we're talking about something that might happen where we might be given, let's say, a number like 35. And let's take another number, let's say 24. And we've been asked to find the greatest common factor and or LCM of these two numbers. So we like using the prime factorization and Venn diagram model. So we'll start out by finding the prime factorization of both numbers. 35 is 5 times 7. And 24 is 2 times 12, and 2 times 6, and 2 times 3. And I have all those, so my prime factorization is 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. All right, and then I'm going to fill in my handy-dandy Venn diagram because this is so helpful in finding GCF and LCM. And I go back to my prime factorizations. And what's this? There are no factors in common? Well, what am I going to do with the center of my Venn diagram? That's where the common prime factors go. What does this mean about the numbers 35 and 24? Well, that means that I have to go and put the numbers that they don't have in common on the outsides. So if this is 35, this is 5 times 7 out here. It's prime factors. And over here we have 24. And its factors are 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. But there's nothing in the center here. That actually means that the greatest common factor of these two numbers, 35 and 24, is actually 1. The number 1 is the GCF. And any time that you find the prime factorization of two numbers and they have absolutely 0 prime factors in common, the only factor that they share is the number 1, because 1 is a factor of every single number. So it's the only thing it could possibly be. Now, what does this tell us about the LCM of these two numbers? Well, normally we would write things that the two numbers have in common here, so those things would only get used once. But in this case, to find the LCM, we have to multiply the numbers 5 times 7 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 to find the LCM. But what do we know about the numbers 5 times 7 and 2 times 2 times 2 times 3? Well, this is just another way of naming 35, and this is just another way of naming 24. So actually, our LCM is exactly the same as multiplying 35 times 24. And unfortunately for me, because I already did the math, but fortunately for you, you don't have to do it because I did it for you. That's actually 840. So by using the prime factorization method, we realized that the LCM of 35 and 24 is actually the same as the product of 35 and 24. And this is going to be the case absolutely every time two numbers have a greatest common factor of 1. So you don't have to be scared. You don't have to be worried. When you find that two numbers share no common prime factors, that just means their GCF is 1 and their LCM is the product of those two numbers. Thanks for watching.